Almost 2 years ago in 2021 November, I set a goal to be financially independent and retire early by the age of 35, having a USD $1 million of portfolio. I even went on the show with CNA Channels News Asia on their Money Talks podcast to talk about this goal and what are the pros and cons of it. And I made it very clear during the show that this goal is not for everyone. Mind you, this goal was set in 2021 November, and if you remember, during that time, the market was at all-time high. The S&P 500 was at 4,700 points, inching to 4,800 points by the start of January 2022. But we all knew what happened after 2022 because the market crashed, the war happened, inflation started, recession woes are starting, and then we have so much uncertainty and black swan events during 2022, and the markets kept crashing and crashing until a low point in October 2022. And along the way, many things have changed, including my life events, my statuses, and whatever I'm doing in life. So I'll be providing an update on my financial independent retire early or Ikigai plan. How is it going and what is my future outlook? But before that, you can join my Honey Money SG Telegram with over 7,000 members to find like-minded individuals chasing financial independence and maybe find your Ikigai there as well. First, let's define a goal, and let me be very transparent that $1 million is a very lofty goal. Even at the time of setting the goal, I was not certain I could hit it. I mean, $1 million, that's equivalent to 1.35 million Singapore dollars by the age of 35, which is still a very difficult to achieve target. But why? $1 million is because I'm using a 4% safe withdrawal rate from the Trinity study, and with a 4% withdrawal rate, I will be drawing about 40,000 US dollars per year. And that is equivalent to 54,000 Singapore dollars currently. And if you divide that by 12 months, that will be 4,500 Singapore dollars in today's value. And I felt that $4,500 is pretty comfortable for myself, and that is a very nice goal to have. If I may even extend it, I could live luxuriously in a nearby country with low cost of living like Malaysia. I could 3x it, like my most popular video where I considered a retirement in Malaysia. But anyway, the $1 million of portfolio will only include liquid assets like stocks, bonds, cash instruments in high-yield savings accounts, and even my SRS and CPF investment portfolios. But it does not include non-liquid assets like my own stay property, which is a 4-room BTO, which is finally ready by the next year. And it definitely does not include my 300,000 plus CPF account with my special account and MediSave account all maxed out. Because I consider these two portfolios non-liquid and will not have any cash flows until a much further stage of my life. And if you want to reach this $1 million goal, maybe one step is to start looking at how to invest. And when you want to invest, you want to choose a platform with the lowest fees and nice user interface. And that is a message from my sponsor. See what I told you? This company finally woke up. Because now, when you sign up with Weeboo Singapore, you can win a total of 6 to 40 free shares from companies like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, or Google. And each share is worth from 3 to 1,000 US dollars. So now, in order to qualify, you need to deposit at least $100 and hold the deposit for 30 days without any withdrawals. Don't worry, there are no trade requirements this time. But one new feature from Weeboo is now you can do the regular savings plan, where you can finally automate your investments and use your time wisely on other interesting stuff. You will also get one lucky draw ticket where you can win $888 weekly and even get a chance to drive away with a Tesla Model 3 as the grand prize lucky draw winner. So wait no more, use my referral link down below or scan the QR code right here to get your Weeboo account today. So I have covered what is the goal. I think next up I want to talk about why do I even have this goal of financial independence, retire early. And to put it more specifically, I don't think retirement means doing nothing. Retirement to me means that you are not working for money. You are just doing something, but you don't really need the money because you are affluent enough or you have enough cash flows to support your normal lifestyle. But the big reason why is because I do not want to work for others forever. I've been in a corporate job for 8 years, and after staying 8 years in a corporate job, I felt that I could do something more for myself, work for myself, and that's what I did. I eventually quit my corporate job this year in January. And I've been starting this business out on my own for close to 4 months for now. I think there's nothing wrong in having a full-time corporate job, but until a certain period of time, you realize that things are not going the way you want it to be, and you've seen your colleagues or people getting illnesses from work because of work stress. Some may even have passed away due to chronic conditions that develop during their work life, and it's quite sad to see them go. So I would say that you can stay in your full-time job until you have discovered what you want to do and what you want to pursue. Now, once you have the option and you have the freedom and you are sure that it's sustainable enough, then that's when you can consider quitting your job. So don't quit your job for nothing. For reference, I only quit my job when I proved that my business was cash flow positive plus sustainable for at least 12 months. So before that, I was still full-time hustling on the job and doing it as a side hustle. The next question is when, and that will be age 35. Why 35 is because I felt that it's a relatively young age for you to go for new experiences, go to travel to a few countries where you can still walk and you are fairly active. And it's more about the mindset, right? Especially when you're older, you're more risk averse, you don't like to try out new activities. Have you seen that in your parents? Because your parents may have lived a very long life, but you realize that they did not try out a lot of experiences. They were just trapped in the constant day of living the same kind of life day after day. So if you have the opportunity and resources, maybe you can try to retire at an earlier age to explore the world outside of work. So where to retire? Fundamentally, I will still retire in Singapore, but I will do occasional travels to Malaysia, even though I said that I may consider retiring in Malaysia. But it's not a long-term thing. I felt that the best way is to stay a few days in Singapore, stay a few days in Malaysia, just like Mr. Lu does it. And this is really to take advantage of the geographical arbitrage. And the JB to Singapore RTS Rapid Transit system will be ready by 2027, so I'm excited for that. Now, at the current status, I am only 45% of my goal, so it's very disappointing to say I'm not even at the halfway mark yet. And you can do your own calculations, how much more do I need to achieve that goal by 35. So it's highly unlikely I'll reach it by 35, and I've been very transparent about that. I even mentioned in one of my interviews with Calvin Learns Investing. But let's be clear that the difference will have to be made up by the investment return plus any additional cash injections into the portfolio. So that means whatever retained earnings that I earned from my business can be injected into this portfolio. But truth to be told, it's still a very lofty goal, and I don't think I can achieve it by age 35 anymore. Before the year of 2022, I could confidently say that I could reach it by 35, but now, not really. I think the more appropriate time frame is between the age of 36 to 37 if I'm still on track. But if we are lucky enough in the remaining parts of 2023 and even 2024, we start a brand new extended bull market run, then maybe I have a chance to go back to the age 35 goal. And this is why you see a long time horizon in investing is really important, because anytime in your investing, you will see this kind of black swan events and market corrections all the time. But if you spread out the time horizon, maybe if I got it back at age 35, then that's when you can see the power of long-term investing. Some of you may have the question that, since I quit the full-time job, am I even further away from the goal? Because now I no longer have a full-time job, no more stable income, cutting my income sources. Is that really wise to do so? The fact is not really, because if I look at my 2023 forecasted income for the full year, it's on track to meet 2022's full year income, where it comprises of my full-time job plus a YouTube side hustle back then in 2022. And if I'm lucky enough, it may even surpass my past year income. And that's because once I've quit my full-time job, I have more capacity and opportunity to meet new people, build new networks, take up new jobs, and increase my income source. And that's why maybe in the short term, you see your income drop by a lot. But in the long term, you will see that there's so much more to gain from multiple income sources generated from your business. But since you're here, let me tell you that FIRE is not my goal. I'm actually not chasing FIRE. I'm chasing after Ikigai. And Ikigai is this 4-circle Venn diagram whereby you can do what you love, you do what the world needs, do what you're good at, and what you can be paid for. And I think that right now, this current job, this current status of my life is kind of the nearest to where I can be in Ikigai, because whatever I'm doing every day right now is what I would love to do and can be paid for it and can help others to further their financial knowledge and all that stuff. And at the same time, I don't dread Mondays or celebrate Fridays or even public holidays, long weekends, this kind of thing anymore. Every day is kind of the same to me. I'm out there to hustle and help people. But why I say I'm not at Ikigai yet is because I still think there are still some life stages I have yet to conquer, like staying in my own property, which is my BTO flat ready by next year. And at the same time, I'm still not practicing geographical arbitrage because my partner is still in a full-time job. So until I have settled these two missions, then I'll be considered to have achieved Ikigai. Because the thing about this whole digital nomad geographical arbitrage thing is that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you have to go together. And I know that I'm not the kind who would like to solo travel one. So I definitely have to go together in order to go far. So having said all of that, I hope that it has inspired some of you to look for what you want, whether it's your FIRE or your Ikigai goal. But the thing about this is that even if you don't have this goal, you don't have to be too discouraged because we are all running our own marathons. It's not a sprint. And if you're feeling that you're falling behind in life, you're feeling like a failure, then I urge you to watch this video that I've done up previously because it has inspired so many people giving motivational comments.